here whispering about the super interesting shark. Sharks are quite intimidating, but quite beautiful and quite interesting creatures. It's quite a wide subject to get into, so maybe this will be the introduction to sharks, and we'll do more specific information about sharks in the future. Now, I don't know about you, but I really love all of the different types of sharks. I especially really love those with the really deep blue, almost shiny texture of skin. And I don't know what they're called, but maybe that would be a good whispering Wikipedia in the future. Anyway, thank you so much to whoever suggested that I read about simply sharks. If you have something you'd like me to whisper and read about, please leave it in the comments below. I read every comment. I don't always get to see every reply, but I do read every initial comment, so please leave me a suggestion below or come and say hello, and maybe we can be friends, because I try to reply to everyone. Now, without any further ado, let's start the Whispering Wikipedia about sharks. Please remember, I don't know how to say scientific names or scientific terminology, so please don't try and learn how to say complicated scientific names from someone unqualified like myself. Okay. Sharks. Sharks are a group of elasmobranch fish characterized by a cartilaginous skeleton, 5 to 7 gill slits on the sides of the head, and pectoral fins that are not fused to the head. Modern sharks are classified within the clade Selachmorphia or Selachii, and are the sister group to the rays. However, the term shark has also been used for extinct members of the subclass Elasmobranchi outside of the Selachomorpha, such as the Cladoselachii and the Xenacanthus, as well as other chondrocytes such as the holocephalid eugenodontines. Under this broader definition, the earliest known sharks date back to more than 420 million years ago. Acanthodians are often referred to as spiny sharks, though they are not part of the chondrocytes proper. They are a paraphyletic assemblage leading to cartilaginous fish as a whole. Since then, sharks have diversified into over 500 species. They range in size from the smaller dwarf lantern shark Etymopterus perry, a deep-sea species of only 17 centimeters, which is 6.7 inches in length, to the whale shark, the Rhyngodon typus, the largest fish in the world, which reaches approximately 12 meters, which is 40 feet in length. Sharks are found in all seas and a common depth of 2,000 meters, which is 6,600 feet. They generally do not live in fresh water, although there are few known exceptions, such as the bull shark and the river shark, which can be found in both seawater and fresh water. Sharks have a covering of dermal denticles that protects their skin from damage and parasites, in addition to improving their fluid dynamics. They have numerous sets of replaceable teeth. Well-known species such as the tiger shark, blue shark, great white shark, mako shark, thresher shark, and hammerhead shark are apex predators, organisms at the top of their underwater food chain. Many shark populations are threatened by human activities. The etymology of the word shark is uncertain. The most likely etymology states that the original sense of the word was that of predator, one who preys on others, from the Dutch word zwak, meaning villain scoundrel, which was later applied to the fish due to its predatory behavior. A now disproven theory is that it derives from the Ugaritic Maya word zhok, pronounced shock, meaning fish. Evidence for this etymology came from the Oxford English Dictionary, which notes shark first came into use after Sir John Hawkins' sailors exhibited one in London in 1569 and posted shark to refer to the large sharks of the Caribbean Sea. However, the Middle English Dictionary records an isolated occurrence of the word shark, referring to sea fish, in a letter written by Thomas Beckington in 1442. That's early, which rules out the New World etymology. Now, we look at the evolutionary history. Evidence for the existence of sharks dates from the Ordovician period, which is 450 to 420 million years ago, before land vertebrates existed and before a variety of plants had colonized the continents. Only scales have been recovered from the first sharks, and not all paleontologists agree that these are from true sharks, suspecting that these scales are actually those of Thelodont agnathans. The oldest generally accepted shark scales are from about 420 million years ago in the Silurian period. The first sharks looked very different from modern sharks. At this time, the most common shark tooth is the cladodont, a style of thin tooth with 3 tines, like a trident, apparently to help catch fish. The majority of modern sharks can be traced back to around 100 million years ago. Most fossils are of teeth, often in large numbers. Partial skeletons are even complete with fossilized remains have been discovered. Interesting. Estimates suggest that sharks grow tens of thousands of teeth over a lifetime, which explains the abundant fossils. Their teeth consist of early fossilized calcium phosphate and apatite. When a shark dies, the decomposing skeleton breaks up, scattering the apatite prisms. Preservation requires rapid burial in bottom sediments. Among the most ancient and primitive sharks is the Cladocelac, from about 370 million years ago, which has been found within Paleozoic strata in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. At that point in Earth's history, these rocks made up the soft bottom sediments of a large, shallow ocean which stretched across much of North America. Cladocelaci was only about 1 meter, which is 3.3 feet long, with stiff triangular fins and slender jaws. Its teeth had several pointed cusps, which wore down from use. similar shape to the great white sharks and the pelagic shortfin and longfin macos. The presence of a whole fish arranged tail first in their stomach suggested that they were fast swimmers with great agility. Can you imagine? So they just swim and the fish just gets caught. That's very interesting. Most fossil sharks from about 300 to 150 million years ago can be assigned to one of two groups. The Xenacanthidia was almost exclusive to freshwater environments. By the time this group became extinct about 220 million years ago, they had spread worldwide. The other group, the Hybodonts, appeared about 320 million years ago and lived mostly in the oceans but also in fresh water. The results of a 2014 study of the gill structure of an unusually well-preserved 325 million year old fossil suggests that sharks are not living fossils but rather have evolved more extensively than previously thought over the hundreds of millions of years they have been around. Modern sharks began to appear about 100 million years ago. Fossil mackerel shark teeth date to the early Cretaceous. One of the most recently evolved families is the hammerhead shark, the family Sphaerinidae, which emerged in the Eocene. The oldest white shark teeth date from 60 to 66 million years ago, around the time of the extinction of the dinosaurs. In early white shark evolution, there are at least two lineages. One lineage is of white sharks with coarsely serrated teeth, and it probably gave rise to the modern great white shark. And another lineage is of white sharks with finely serrated teeth. These sharks attained gigantic proportions and included the extinct mega-toothed shark C. megalodon, superorder Selachomorpha, in the subclass Elasmobranchi. In the class Chondrothies, the Elasmobranchi also includes rays and skates. The Chondrothies also include chimeras. It was thought that the sharks form a polyphyletic group. Some sharks are more closely related to rays than they are to some other sharks, but current molecular studies support monophily of both groups of sharks and batoids. The superorder Selachomorpha is divided into Galli or Gallimorphi and Squala or Squalomorphi. The Gallians are the heterodontiforms, orectolobiforms, laminiforms, and cacariniforms. Laminoids and cacarinoids are usually placed in one clade, but recent studies show that laminoids and orectoloboids are a clade. Some scientists now think that heterodontids may be squalian. The squalians are divided into hexaniforms and squalomorpha. The former includes cow shark and frilled shark, though some authors propose both families to be moved to separate orders. The Squalomorpha contains the squaliforms and the hypnosquala. The hypnosquala may be invalid. It includes the squatiniforms and the Prisortacea, which may also be invalid, but includes the Pristophoriforms complete list of names, but I feel like that section was tedious enough. Though maybe it was a good exercise in pronouncing difficult names. Now we move to the teeth. Shark teeth are embedded in the gums rather than directly affixed to the jaw. Interesting. And are constantly replaced throughout the life. Multiple rows of replacement teeth grow in a groove on the inside of the jaw and steadily move forward in comparison to a conveyor belt. Some sharks lose 30,000 or more teeth in their lifetime. The rate of tooth replacement varies from once every 8 to 10 days to several months. In most species, teeth are replaced one at a time as opposed to the simultaneous replacement of an entire row which is observed in the cookie cutter shark. Tooth shape depends on the shark's diet. Those that feed on mollusks and crustaceans have dense and flattened teeth used for crushing. Those that feed on fish have needle-like teeth for gripping, and those that feed on larger prey such as mammals have pointed lower teeth for gripping and triangular upper teeth with serrated edges for cutting. The teeth of plankton feeders such as the basking shark are small and non-functional. Interesting. We move now to the skeleton. Shark skeletons are very different from those of bony fish and terrestrial vertebrates. Sharks and other cartilaginous fish such as skates and rays have skeletons made of cartilage and connective tissue. Cartilage is flexible and durable, yet is about half the normal density of bone. This reduces the skeleton's weight, saving energy. Because sharks do not have rib cages, they can easily be crushed under their own weight on land. The jaws of sharks, like those of rays and skates, are not attached to the cranium. The jaw's surface, in comparison to the shark's vertebrae and gill arches, needs extra support due to its heavy exposure to physical stress and its need for strength. It has a layer of tiny hexagonal plates called tesserae, which are crystal blocks of calcium salts arranged as a mosaic. This gives these areas much of the same strength found in the bony tissue found in other animals. Generally, sharks have only one layer of tesserae, but the jaws of large specimens such as the bull shark, tiger shark, and the great white shark have 2 to 3 layers or more, depending on body size. The jaws of a great white shark may have up to 5 layers. In the rostrum, the snout, the cartilage can be spongy and flexible to absorb the power of impacts. Fins. Fin skeletons are elongated and supported with soft and unsegmented rays named serotrachea. Filaments of elastic protein resemble the horny keratin in hair and feathers. Most sharks have 8 fins. Sharks can only drift away from objects directly in front of them because their fins do not allow them to move in the tail first direction. Now we move to dermal denticles. Unlike bony fish, sharks have a complex dermal corset made of flexible collagenous fibers and arranged as a helical network surrounding their body. This works as an outer skeleton, providing attachment for their swimming muscles and thus saving energy. Their dermal teeth give them hydrodynamic shape. Caudal fin shapes vary considerably between shark species due to their evolution in separate environments. Sharks possess a heterosacral caudal fin in which the dorsal portion is usually noticeably larger than the ventral portion. This is because the shark's vertebral column extends into that dorsal portion, providing a greater surface area for muscle attachment. This allows more efficient locomotion among these negatively buoyant cartilaginous fish. By contrast, most bony fish possess a homosacral caudal fin. Tiger sharks have a large upper lobe which allows for their slow cruising and sudden bursts of speed. The tiger shark must be able to twist and turn in the water easily when hunting to support its varied diet, whereas the poor beagle shark, which hunts schooling fish such as the mackerel and herring, has a large lower lobe to help it keep pace with its fast swimming prey. Other tail adaptations help sharks catch prey more directly, such as the thresher shark's usage of its powerful elongated upper lobe to stun fish and squid. Now, I think that this will be the end of the first part of the Wikipedia series on the shark. I hope you can join me next time for the next episode of Whispering